This is a comfy chair, gonna admit. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mario Man 2100 back again with another video. And this is gonna be a little bit of a discussion type thing with the Pokemon review marathon, not specifically on that, but on other aspects of Pokemon. Now, this is not scripted, so this will be raw. If I stuff up, if I stutter, maybe if I burp, I might cut it out, but I don't know. But I'm just going to go over various aspects of the Pokemon franchise and what it means to me and its history with me in particular. Yeah, I know the beard's getting a bit long, but it's okay. I'll fix it up in the next week or so. So Pokemon, for me, is one of my favourite series of all time. It does stack pretty well against the Super Smash Bros. Franchise, the Sonic franchise, and the Kingdom Hearts franchise. I still particularly think that it's better than Mario, but it is better than that because I've had a lot more memories with Pokemon for longer than I have with Mario, per se. And I think even Sonic and most of the series in general, actually, I think this is the longest running series that I've ever actually looked at and actually really enjoyed, and it's something that I cannot say about any other game franchise in history other than like maybe Crash Bandicoot, but that series, as we know, is kinda in limbo right now, even though the Skylanders Imaginators are coming out later this year, the next couple of weeks I think actually, and then the remake of Crash Bandicoot 1, 2 and 3, which, you know, I didn't think that would come out this year, and it doesn't look like it's going to be. Maybe they might talk about that more in the PlayStation Experience in December. By the way, Chicago Cubs winning, that was incredible. Seeing the last two games, absolutely insane. It's like, good job Cubs fans, you know, like that's you've waited so long for that, 108 years, like that's incredible. Also on that note, what about that Switch, man? That Nintendo Switch, that is crazy, and I know this video is going to get dated for that, but this was a couple weeks ago. That Switch looks awesome, and I'm definitely going to probably pick it up, maybe launch day. Let's hope. And then 1.5 and 2.5 within the last week and a half got announced for PS4, and that was insane. And then the opening for 2.0 for 0.2, Birth by Sleep of Fragmentary Passage in Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. Like, that was amazing. I gotta say, the animations, the music we were waiting on for so long, and with this opening trailer, like opening of 0.2, we now have the full remix of Simple and Clean, or Hikari, whatever you know it as, whether it's the Japanese or the English versions, doesn't matter. Same song. But yeah, 1.5 and 2.5, definitely getting them for the PS4. Hopefully the load times, particularly in Kingdom Hearts 2, are definitely a lot better. Because Kingdom Hearts 2, form gauge, like if you used drive gauges, slow the game down pretty hard. It had a lot of loading times, for the map areas and rooms of that game. Like, that's incredible. But yeah, so many things happened in the last couple of weeks, and I've been meaning to record this. But yeah, and now I'm getting to it. Thank God. So Pokemon I picked up in 2001, maybe 2002 with Pokemon Crystal. That was my first ever Pokemon game, and Generation 2 is actually the only generation that I haven't actually finished, not counting Black 2 and White 2 specifically. Like, I've still beaten Black and White, so I kind of consider that Generation 5 in some ways is complete, but I haven't beaten Black 2 or White 2 as of yet. I haven't even touched the game for a couple of years now. I think I got them just before X and Y came out, and I finished Black ages ago. Well, no, I actually finished White, I think. Hold on. No, I finished Black a while ago, and yeah, I don't know. Like, I think I would more. I enjoy some of the music tracks and stuff from the first Black and White games, but the second one, especially with the battle subway or whatever it was to beat the gym leaders and champions of previous gens, like that to me is a good post game or good game leading up to the actual Unified Champion fight, or however it's set out. I haven't played the game, so I don't know. But that, to me, screams that that's so much better. Um, yeah, Sun and Moon's coming out soon, and that's crazy to think that the series has been going on for 20 years. Like, I've known about it for, what, 15? Well, yeah, 15 at the time. If I got the game in 2001 with Crystal, it would have been 15 years ago. And that's incredible to say, because, geez, it's been such a long time. Various aspects, I've mostly played the Pokemon video games, and like, I was, Battle Revolution right here. I was planning to do a review sorta on Pokemon Battle Revolution, because I have actually played this game, but I wanted to also get like Pokemon Stadium, Stadium 2, Coliseum, maybe XD, but yeah, and I didn't, so that got put on the back burner, and now I'm not doing a review on that. But this game is pretty good. I will admit that it does suffer from a bunch of problems, but it's still a good game. I think I consider it kind of a Stadium. Well, I'd call it a Stadium 4, because technically Coliseum's supposed to be Pokemon Stadium 3. Or Pokemon Stadium 5 in Japan, because they already have Stadium 2. But particularly this game is alright. I don't think that it's too bad. I think I got most of my Pokemon from Diamond on there, not Platinum. But that's cool. That's a cool game. But I've loved the games for quite a number of years. There's, second gen. Like I said, this is the only generation I haven't finished. I have a lot of memories with Fire Red, a lot of memories with Emerald, specifically those two. And the funny story with Emerald in particular is that Jordan, who has been in my videos previously, even a couple of years ago now, he has Ruby and Sapphire, and I'm not sure if he has Emerald. I can't remember. But I had finished Emerald by that time, and he was up at the 7th gym. He'd beaten the 7th gym. He's like, okay, where do I need to go now? And I'm like, oh, you need to go to Team Magma's base. And I think he was playing Ruby at the time. And I'm like, oh yeah, you just go over here. Not knowing that the Jagged Pass didn't have that cave area where Team Magma was until actually recently when I was doing the Pokemon Generation 3 review. Like, I hadn't known it at the time, and I didn't even know it up until now, that was added for Emerald because of Team Aqua taking the Lily Cove base, which makes a lot of sense because Team Aqua, it's on the water, so there's that. But yeah, I was really surprised. I was like, yeah, you go here. No. I went there and I'm like, where's the cave? And he's like, what cave? I'm like, there's supposed to be a cave there. And when he never worked it out, and I'm not sure if he's worked it out now, but he's playing through Alpha Sapphire, because I had Alpha Sapphire, and then I gave it to him as a birthday gift, because he loves his Pokemon. I love my Pokemon. I think it's absolutely an amazing series. I think it's still one of my favorites of all time. In particular, I think with Pokemon, there's a lot of good memories that I've had with Pokemon. Just watching through something like the Pokemon Origins anime, and more recently the Pokemon Generations anime, which is still going on right now. With Origins, I did watch that a couple of weeks ago now, again for the second time, since I'd seen them when they first came out. I still gotta say the episodes still live up to this day. I think Origins is a great telling of the first generation. I think they probably should have had a couple of more battles in the game, or in the anime. Calling it a game when technically it's based on a game, but anyway. If it had more battles in it, I think I would have enjoyed it more, but I did love the storytelling of Origins, and I think that's definitely carrying over to a lot of the episodes in Pokemon Generations. You know, like the Old Chateau episode was creepy as hell. Recently, the Team Galactic episode I thought was great. You know, no battle in there. Cynthia is kind of not that much of a badass, but in that episode specifically, but she is a badass in general. I definitely have a lot of memories with that fight in particular, you know, like going back to the games. I had never beaten the Elite Four or the champion in Gen 2. Gen 3, I had Fire Red and Leaf Green, and I had Fire Red, and I played through some of that, but by the time I had Emerald, I think Emerald was the first time I actually gotten through all the gym leaders, all the Elite Four members, and beaten Wallace the champion, which was incredible. And I think I had put up so much of a fight because I kept losing all the time, and it was so stupid. And I didn't know too much about typings. I knew it a little bit better at that time, but not as much as I do now. In fact, I still look at the typing list that I got from the guide to Pokemon X and Y, because Fairy was thrown in, so it threw everything through a loop, and not everything I know offhand, but I know at least probably half the match types now, which is good, specifically for Pokemon, because realistically I think, you know, I needed that. But Wallace's fight was incredible, but when I definitely got to Cynthia, it was the most incredible thing. And it was I was pumped up. I was pumped up for Wallace's fight, you know, as the champion and all, and beating him was an absolutely amazing experience. But getting up to Cynthia, seeing Cynthia, not beating her so many times, and getting pumped up more and more each time I tried that battle, is incredible. I still get pumped up to this day for that battle in specifically. It doesn't matter if it's in Diamond, in Pearl, in Platinum, you know, it doesn't matter. I tried playing against her in Black and I got dominated, but that's because most of my Pokemon in Pokemon Black are not that good. Level-wise, I mean, you know, I'm not saying that the Pokemons are crap, because they're not. It's just I haven't leveled them up to that high. I think I was under-leveled when I was trying to beat Getsus and N in Black and White, as well as Ola, so it got a bit weird. And the Elite Four, I gotta say, the Elite Four in Black and White, specifically, I think they're the hardest that I've ever faced, because I know the typing, I knew the typings. I'm like, okay, so this is a fighting type, this is ground, this is ghost type, this is normal type, and this is dark type or something. And I was hitting him with those moves, and it wasn't really doing that much. It was intense. But Cynthia's battle, you know, seeing that Garchomp, seeing that Milotic, which back in Wallace's fight was one of the banes of my existence, along with that Kingdra. Jesus, that Kingdra. That Kingdra was incredible, but that Garchomp and that Milotic, Cynthia's Milotic, Wallace's Milotic was hard. Cynthia's was on a completely different level of hard, and it was when I finally beaten it, I was like, that was intense. And she still had that Garchomp, and I was like, God damn it. But her Rose Raid, I think, is the weakest Pokemon in her team for me specifically, because I've got an Infernape and had it for Diamond, and I knew how to use it in Platinum, so playing with that Pokemon was incredible. But the anime in general, I think that Origins is great. I think that Generations is shaping up. A lot of the episodes are good. Some of them are not so good. I think I look at the episode with Archie in it. That wasn't too great. That was okay, but not that great. There's another episode that I just can't think of off the top of my head. In, I think, the Gen 2 arc. And I just can't think of what the episode was. But anyway, it's nothing. It's something else I can worry about later. But like Generations shaping up pretty good. Origins is amazing. The original anime, I gotta say, like some of the best things I've seen. I think my favourite season is the Battle Frontier season. I don't know why. Maybe it's the theme song, or maybe it's just when I was growing up with it. I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX at the time. I was watching morning TV while I was getting ready for school. That maybe that's why. Like I even got up early, like 6:30 sometimes, just to see this anime. It was weird, and I hated when Toasted TV was like, oh yeah, we're going to put it at 6 o'clock, and it's just like, no, I am not waking up that early. Not for that. Sorry. Especially on a Saturday, that was not good. They had it like an hour earlier, and it was not good, because especially a lot of the anime that I wanted to watch was the early anime, and then it was things like Hamtaro, or there's a lot of other shows that I can't remember off the top of my head. I think I've faded them out of my mind because I didn't like them. But I think in general that season was great. I've seen all the way through the Diamond and Pearl arc. Like that was pretty good. I gotta admit there was a lot of episodes there that it started really slow. Okay, yes. Everybody says this. The Diamond and Pearl anime gets slow when it starts off, but it picks up steam when it gets going. When it gets going, I think it's like maybe almost halfway through the first season of the 3 or 4 seasons, I think, of Sinnoh. That's when it starts getting like kind of good and starts picking up. Particularly, I think with Black and White, that's when I stopped. And I keep hearing that X and Y and X, Y, and Z are incredible. And I do want to go back to see all of the seasons of Pokemon, like go back to the originals, because I have seen them. And my favourite movie has got to be the first movie. That's... I know everybody says, like, Pokemon 2000 or Pokemon 3, Pokemon the movie 3, or, some of the other movies later on. Some people do have memories with. Particularly, it's always the Mew vs. Mewtwo. Like, the first movie, that's it for me. Like, particularly Mew and Mewtwo, that's the one that I've seen the most. I've seen, like, Pokemon Forever. I'm pretty sure I'd seen Pokemon Heroes, but this was a while back. I think I'd seen a little bit of Shaman and Giratina. I think I haven't seen 3, I know that for sure. I'm pretty sure I've seen a little bit of Pokemon 2000, but Pokemon the first movie is the one that I've seen through the whole way, and I love that. I love that movie. Like, Pokemon movie, that's the one I go to. If, like, it's even out on Blu-ray, I'm pretty sure I can still pick it up. And I probably will. I won't be surprised if I do it by the end of the year. I'll pick up Pokemon the first movie on Blu-ray, because why the fuck not? The anime is great. The Pokemon card game, like, that's something else that I have played. I have played TCG Online now, like a little bit. I haven't played online yet, but I've gone through the tutorials and everything. Particularly with the card game, I never really played the card game how it was supposed to, because growing up I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! That was the thing I was into. Excuse me. Yep, okay. A little bit of a burp there. But with the card game in particular, like, I was growing up with Yu-Gi-Oh! At the time, so realistically, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! That's the way I was playing the Pokemon trading card game, which I knew was wrong to do so, you know. Like, I still did the evolutions normally, as you do in, like, the Pokemon trading card game, which is fine, you know, I eventually got that. I think we did play with the counters. I'm not 100% sure. I think we played a little bit with the counters, but not much. But, you know, I think the one thing that we did stick to was the coin toss, sorry, coin toss. I think that's something that we stick to very exclusively for the TCG when me and Jordan were playing it, because that's realistically the only people that were playing it at the time. You know, I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With my friends at school, I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With Jordan at the time, but Pokemon, the trading card game, wasn't really the game that I was playing at the time. You know, like, I wasn't really diving into that game that much. So, playing it, I was playing it wrong, and I know that now, because I have learned a lot of the basic rules of TCG, but not specifically anything in particular. You know, like I know with EXs you need to have the Pokemon that's there. So like if I had like an Entei EX, which I did have, I think it was a fake though, because it was foil when it fell apart. But it was like actual foil. It wasn't that great, so I think it was a fake card. But I did pick it up at a show, you know, like at the showgrounds at a fair. So that's realistically, I should have seen that coming a mile away. But particularly with EXs, like I know that you need the actual Pokemon. So if I had an Entei EX, I needed an Entei to play. You know, like I played the Entei and then I played the Entei EX. You know, I'd have to do that. With the break cards, because I do have one, I have a Lugia and I should probably find it. Let's see, yeah, I'm keeping my cards and there you go. All my cards. All my doubles are in another deck, but all the cards that I have are in this one. There's my Victini. I'm gonna find it now. Probably on, yeah, I can see it where it is. But like that, my Lugia break, that's the only break card I have. And I don't know what it does. It says Flash of Destruction. I'm guessing that's an attack. So I'm guessing that's how you play it. That's a huge image, and like, that is really fucking sparkly. I can admit, but like, the trading card game, I didn't mind collecting the cards. You know, specifically, I think we even used a lot of the energy, like, we didn't, when playing the game, me and Jordan never used the energy cards. We never did, you know, we played Yu-Gi-Oh! So we didn't have energy cards to play. And even though we had it in our deck, that we had energy cards, we're like, oh yeah, we need to play with these, don't we? Oops. But you know, like, EXs didn't come in until, I think, Gen 4, from memory? Gen 3, Gen 4? Was EXs, I think? And breaks, I believe, are probably Gen 6's thing. But particularly with the card game, you know, I didn't think that it was too great, in my opinion. I look back at it now, and it's still going on strong, which is incredible, because a lot of people love the Pokemon trading card game. It's at Worlds every year, and that's like, it's not just the video games in general that are at Pokemon Worlds. There's like the trading card tournament there, which is incredible, because, you know, to see a card game that I particularly didn't grow up with be so popular that it's like, it has its own world tournament as well as like national and local tournaments. That's incredible. You know, like, particularly like tournaments in general for me, and this is a completely different tangent, but like tournaments for me are incredible. Like, seeing things at like EVO specifically, like, I think EVO in particular is incredible, especially with a lot of the games. Smash Brothers, is, of course, is the one that I watch the most. You know, whether it's Melee, whether it's Smash 4, I don't care. You know, particularly I love both of them. You know, like I go for like Hungry Box or Mango, or a little bit of Mewtwo King, maybe like Armza, definitely. I definitely like to go for the underdogs, but I do have my like my what's the word? I can't think what the word is. Like I have my preferences. That's the word. Preferences. I do have my preferences. So like, if it was like Mango versus Armada, I will go for Mango every single time. You know, when Armada gets a good kill, sure. I'm like, oh, that's incredible. Okay, that's a good kill. You know, I would always go for Hungry Bucks, and especially when he won Evo this year, I thought it was like, this is a long time coming for you, mate. You've been waiting for this trophy for such a long time, and just to see that last match, because I think I actually tuned in when this match was going on. Like, I was seeing, I think game 4 in the first set, maybe game 3, and he was getting dominated. And I was like, oh, Armada's going to win this. And just to see him come back, last stock, last match, come back, get into the second set, goes all the way to game 5, one last stock in the last match of the second set. And to win it like that is incredible. I've seen some amazing tournament, you know, I've seen some amazing tournament moments, you know, like that Pachirisu in bloody Pokemon Worlds that I think was part of a team that won the whole thing. Like, that was incredible. Pachirisu, which is a Pokemon that in the online game, like in the video games, it hasn't really got that many too good stats to go up against things like Mega Kangaskhan, which is OP as shit. And like a Mega, I think maybe a Mega Garchomp might have been in a team that was leading up on the way. You know, seeing Pokemon like Tyranitar, you know, things like that. Like, that's incredible to see a Pokemon like Pachirisu that doesn't get too much love and that comes into a team that beats, I think, everybody at Worlds. Like, that's incredible. You know, some things that I've seen in BlazBlue, some things that I've seen in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Smash Brothers, Melee Smash 4 is incredible, you know. There's too many tournaments that I think that particularly are good, and I think that's, like, there's a lot of good moments in all of them, and you just look back at them and you're like, I've seen that. Like, I think I didn't see the Pachirisu, I've seen Mango finally win Evo, I'd seen Mewtwo King get dominated by Armza at a tournament, I'd seen Hungry Box at Evo, I'd seen the Super Smash Brothers Invitational Tournament all the way through. I'd seen it at school. Like, that was how dedicated I was to Smash 4 in general. Like, the hype was there, and I had actually tuned in while I was at school, doing my major work, in my computer class, was watching the tournament live. And that was incredible to me. Like, I was particularly all on that game. And on that stream, I was like, I'm watching this. Seeing Mega Man's Final Smash for the first time. Seeing everybody go up and insane. It's still one of my best moments of the entire game in general. And in fact, in Nintendo's history. You know, having, you know, something like a precursor to the Nintendo World Tournament, whatever it was called back in the day. Nintendo World Championship, that's the one. Just to see the Smash Brothers Invitational as kind of a precursor to that, that's insane. Like, everyone was hyped for this, you know. We didn't get to see Sonic, which was kind of a bit sus, you know. Like, that wasn't that great, you know. Seeing, like, things like Little Mac go up and, like, get some good kills, you know, see someone like Hungry Box get so close to beating Zero in that last match, Mega Man's Final Smash in general, I think it was incredible. But, like those moments, I think Pokemon has, going back to that, rather than going on so many tangents, I think moments like that is like what Pokemon is for me. It's a lot of memories, a lot of cool moments, a lot of really, really pumped up moments. Some bad things, but I think overall the Pokemon franchise in general is great. I particularly love most, if not all, the generations. You know, a lot of people hate Gen 3, a lot of people hate Gen 1. Particularly, you know, I don't think that, like, Gen 3 is good. I love Gen 3. I think that, for me, right now, as it stands, I've never beaten the actual Generation 1 version, even though I do have Pokemon Red version on my 3DS from Virtual Console. I haven't played it yet, unfortunately, but I think in general, Gen 2 is my favourite, even though I haven't finished it. I think next for me is Gen 3. Then Gen 4. I think Gen 6. Gen 5, because I didn't have too many memories with it. And Gen 1 is not at the end. It sits in between Gen 3 and Gen 4 for me, I think, particularly. I've only played Fire Red, so realistically that's still a Generation 3 game. Excuse me. But particularly, like, Gen 1 stands out as where that is. When I play it, you know, when I finish it, you know, it might be different. I might put it near the end. I might put it near the start. I don't know. But I think Sun and Moon is looking really good. I'm not sure if it's going to beat Generation 2. I hope it does, because Generation 2 is such a good game, and if it does beat that, then that's incredible. But it's shaping up as a good Pokemon game, and I definitely think that this should have been kind of what Gen 6 should have been. You know, I had a lot of fun with X and Y, and then Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. You know, but Sun and Moon looks like the real back to form Pokemon game, and that's incredible to see. You know, Pokemon going on 20 years for now. You know, it's going to go on for way longer, but this is the game that looks like it's going to go out of whack. It's going to go insane, and it looks like it's going to be back to that form of Generation 1, Generation 2 for a lot of people. Hopefully around that Generation 2, because that is a really good generation. But I've rambled on long enough. You know, I still think that Pokemon is a great series. I think that particularly it's one of my favourite to date. And it's going to be hard to beat it. You know, I think that, you know, it's not going to go down as a bad series, I think, in the end. It has to really go drop off the deep end, like almost Sonic 06 status, and that rapid decline. You know, we need something like Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric in the Pokemon franchise to absolutely kind of kill Pokemon, because realistically that game is still going, like, the series is going on really strong. Plushies are everywhere, merchandise and all that type of stuff, like even the hat, like this hat, merchandise. The Pokemon trading card game is merchandise, you know, even though it's a competitive game, it's still merchandise. It's merchandise everywhere, like even the spin-off games, like Pokemon Stadium's great, you know, Battle Revolution's kind of good, you know, Colosseum a lot of people like, XD a lot of people like, you know, Pokemon Shuffle and that type of stuff, like that's you know, that's shortish games, but people still love those games, and they're the spin-offs of a successful franchise. The Mystery Dungeon series, which I have dived into a little bit, just not for me. You know, particularly, like, I played it, I didn't get too far in Explorers of Time. I got to Luxray, and that was it. I couldn't get any further. So, realistically, I'm not going to touch that game anymore. I really kind of off it, and Gaze to Infinity did not look that great. In fact, I played the demo of it, I was like, what the fuck is this? And when Super Mystery Dungeon got announced, I was like, oh yeah, another Mystery Dungeon game, and again, and I'm going to play. And it's funny, because a lot of people talking about Super Mystery Dungeon as like the next big Mystery Dungeon game, and then after it comes out, just fades out of existence. Like, no one's talking about it. And I mean, there are more games like Overwatch, which I particularly don't like too much, but I understand why people like it. It's a Blizzard game, of course people are going to like it. You know, I've played World of Warcraft back in the day, and that was fun, but I managed to get out of the grasp of it, you know. Like, I think Heroes of the Storm, I think, is a game that they've worked on. Maybe Hearthstone, I think, is another one from memory. And Overwatch just seems to be, like, that next big Blizzard game. And it's not for me, you know. I particularly looked at the Some Call Me Johnny review. I'm like, okay, I'm going to see this now. I even stated to myself, I'm like, I'm going to watch this review. If this review doesn't show, like, the gameplay doesn't intrigue me too much, because I hadn't seen any gameplay up until that point. You know, I know of the game. I was like, okay, everybody's loving this game. But I'm going to see the gameplay of this game, and I'm going to see if I enjoy it. And, you know, I kind of took Johnny's review in particular to heart. Like, okay, this is his opinion. And I'm like, is it around my opinion? Am I looking at the gameplay? And I'm looking at the gameplay and listening to what he's saying. And it's just, I'm like, well, that review didn't really convince me, so realistically I'm not going to pick up the game. Not because of his opinion, but also how it made my opinion stand out, and what the gameplay showed me, and how that affected my opinion as well. And I gotta say, Overwatch is not for me, particularly, but I can understand why it's so good. It's like, many people talking about Legend of Zelda and saying Ocarina of Time is like one of the best games ever. It's not my favourite Zelda game. I'm sorry, but I understand how it makes people feel. I understand why people think it's a good game. I understand why people think it's an amazing game. I can see why people think it's one of the best games of all time. I particularly like Link to the Past more, but that's particularly because I sat down, I played that for a few hours. I didn't get up. The only thing I got up for was either a drink, something like a snack to eat, or to go to the bathroom. Other than that, I was playing the game for a few hours, and that was good. Like, I haven't finished the game, of course, but I played that game, and that's incredible. Like, it wasn't really that, you know, I didn't think it was going to be a game that I absolutely liked. It's something that I like. So, I think Pokemon won't go down in history as a dead franchise. I don't particularly think that it is going to get to that stage at all. You know, many people think, oh, Gen 3 is not that good. Gen 4 is not that good. Oh, Gen 5, that's incredible, this is good. Gen 6, oh, it's not that great. I don't think that Pokemon's going to die easily. It's going to be one of those franchises that stands up the test of time to a lot of adversaries, like Yokai Watch. It's like, to me, there's no contest. You know, Pokemon is one of the best franchises in history, and it is one of Nintendo's biggest franchises of all time, and is definitely a franchise that I absolutely fucking love. I love playing it. I love playing a lot of the games. Of course, I haven't gone back to some of the games. I haven't gone back to some of the games in a long time, like Emerald or Fire Red. But particularly with Emerald, I don't need to, because I've played through Omega Ruby, so it's kind of... don't need to really play Gen 3's Hoenn story again for a little while. But, you know, like Fire Red or going back to Crystal, I did pick up and play a little bit of Heart Gold again. First time in a long time, but... yeah, I think that Pokemon as a series has stood up the test of time. It will be hard to beat. There's definitely a lot of franchises out there that wish were like Pokemon. I don't know. it's one of those franchises that I can just look at and just smile at, and I'm like, this is... if you want a series to be good, you look something like this. You look something like this series, because if you look like this series, and you do what this series has done well, not, you know, copying and everything, but doing your own thing, making sure that it is the best it can be, then you'll stand up like Pokemon. And I think that's definitely why it stood up the test of time, why it will continue to stand the test of time, and why it's one of the best franchises in general. I'm rambling on, so I'm going to let you guys go. because this video was probably way too long already. But I hope you liked the Pokemon review marathon. I think this will be out before the Generation 4 review. Try to make sure that that's an actual fact, but we'll see how it goes. Particularly, I think that Pokemon as a franchise is great. You know, it's something else. It's something else. It's amazing. You know, it's an amazing franchise, and I love it so much. You know, there's so many good Pokemon, there's so many good games. It's just a franchise that won't die. And I don't see it dying anytime soon. So, with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this discussion-ish type video that went on so many tangents and didn't really talk about too much different on the Pokemon franchise, but overall, I think the Pokemon franchise is something that won't die easily. So I thank you guys so much for watching this discussion video. The second time I said that. I just noticed that, actually. Thank you guys for watching the Pokemon review marathon. I know it's not done after this, because I think Generation 4's review will be out after this, and I'll make it like a huge kind of credits, I think, maybe. That's particularly what I'm thinking, but it'll take me a long time to edit, trust me. But I'm up to the challenge, you know, I'm trying to get it out before the 18th, or on the 18th. You know, that's going to be hard for me, but particularly over here, I think it might be late on the 18th. It'll be 18th by the time it goes up, I think, in America. And I hope to God I make the deadline, because I don't want to stretch until the 23rd. Because I know Europe's getting Sun and Moon then, but I don't want to wait until, like, the next week to do it, so I'm going to have to knuckle down, and I'm going to have to do a lot of editing and recording and stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching the review marathon, this discussion, all my videos. Really, thank you. Like, I love every single one of you. Like, real talk. Everyone that subscribes, I just hope that I'm, you know, that you're enjoying my content, that if it's putting a smile on your face, I'm doing my job. You know, this isn't really a job, it's more a hobby. But I kind of consider it a job. You know, even though I'm not getting paid for it, it's like volunteer work. If it makes someone smile, makes someone happy, someone laugh, makes someone interested in the game, or, you know, franchise, or just look at this video and like, oh, I actually like this person, or this game looks good, maybe I might actually pick this up, then I'm doing my job, and I feel very satisfied when I do something like that, because my opinion, it feels like my opinion and the things that I do in my life in terms of my YouTube channel actually matter to some people, and that's something I can't say about a lot of other things. You know, like my girlfriend, of course, like she loves my videos, and I find it weird that she does watch every single video, but she's my girlfriend and I can understand why she's doing that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I always thought that if I ever got a girlfriend and they found out that I was doing YouTube, they'd look at me weird. But she looks weird at me in general. You know, she knows I'm weird. She knows I'm wacky. She knows I have a YouTube. She likes my content. I'm not sure if she loves my content. It's debatable. But, you know, she's even said to me that she's watched some of my videos when she's really missing me, and that actually don't want to cry about that. But you see what it's doing? Like, that type of thing is so heartfelt that it's almost making me cry, and that's you know, but I'm going on long enough. I'm rambling now. So thank you guys so much for watching every single video of the review marathon, every single video on my channel. Thanks for watching this discussion. Thanks for watching all the content that I do, whether it's plush videos from the past, whether it's gameplay for now, whether it's going to be whatever it's going to be in the future. Doesn't matter. If I'm putting a smile on your face, if you're enjoying my content, maybe leave a like. It's up to you. Favorite, subscribe. If you haven't, I don't know why you'd be seeing this video if you haven't been subscribed to me. But yeah, I thank you guys just for viewing and just for taking my opinions and stuff in. So with all that said, and all those tangents kind of coming to a close, thank you for watching. This has been Mario Man 10,100. You guys have a great day or night, and of course, take care. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching the Pokemon Review Marathon. Thanks.